Tapion's character in Dragon Ball is one many people have come to adore over the years, often being one of the top requested characters when DLC is talked about for various Dragon Ball games. The trouble is that, as a movie character, only the design was drawn up by Toriyama, and the character story is actually all the work of Koyama. The story that follows Tapion's character in Dragon Ball Z Movie 13 is of course very memorable, and one of the better stories for a Dragon Ball movie. So with this being said, it's clear that a lot of people would like Tapion to be written into the main continuity of Dragon Ball Super when it inevitably returns. But how could they do it? Well, here's actually a way in which it may work. And if you'd like to head over to www.wellkingkanji.com, you can check out any merchandise, prints, keyrings, and anything else I might have for sale on there. Link is in the description section below. Hope you enjoy the video. So with Broly being made into a canonical character for the latest movie, it really opens up so many possibilities with the fan-anticipated Super 2.0, which we basically know we're going to get at the moment, seeing as the manga has surpassed the Broly movie and is dealing with its new villain. So with that being said, with Dragon Ball Super introducing other universes, it really opens up countless opportunities for more enemies, and more importantly, it makes the logic of the threats being so close together actually more plausible. We know that Zeno destroyed many other universes before the Tournament of Power took place, and with such ease you have to wonder how many times in the past it's actually happened. And I imagine many. So that the story that I have in mind would create an interesting arc, and it's that if a universe was destroyed due to creating too much inconvenience, and when Zeno looked upon the universe he was irritated, much like he did with Trunks' timeline in the Zamasu sky infection scene, as I've taken to referring to it as, before Zeno erased it. But in this story, before this universe was erased, the mortal level of the universe was evolving at a skyrocketing rate. At the moment it kind of sounds similar to Frieza with the Saiyans, creating a disastrous being known as Hirudegarn, that began destroying planets and creating misery everywhere it passed. Eventually, the Supreme Kai of that universe and the God of Destruction worked together to find a way how to deal with this being, because every time it was attacked it would simply reform. They tried everything from blasts, hand-to-hand, and even swords. So the Gods of Destruction used the same magic Beerus used to store Elder Kai and the Z-Sword to store this evil being inside the Supreme Kai of that universe. This Supreme Kai is that new version of Tapion, similarly following the events of Movie 13, but with a modern Dragon Ball twist. I don't know why I sounded like a pirate. Anyway, Zeno discovered the events had taken place, and with the universe looking so miserable, and with the chance of the same universe creating another such being, even with the other one safely stored away inside Tapion, he arrived to destroy the universe. Knowing that they struggled so greatly to actually deal with the monster, the God of Destruction was worried that perhaps not even Zeno would be able to destroy the monster, and if it were to kill the Supreme Kai, then the monster might be set free. So the God of Destruction and the Supreme Kai travel to another universe before theirs is erased. The God of Destruction's attendant moves them to a new universe and agrees to pretend that they have perished before heading back to Dice Shinkan. Of course, this would mean that they would have to hide. Tapion, as a former Supreme Kai, wears a hood to help him hide his face from suspicion, and the God of Destruction removes his recognizable garbs. They rely on Tapion to retrieve food for them at local towns where necessary. After hiding for many centuries, the God of Destruction begins to feel age catching up with him, and he's concerned that when he dies, and takes the Supreme Kai with him, because of course they're destiny bonded, as we find out in Dragon Ball Super, the monster could be set free. He can't find a replacement God of Destruction because his universe no longer exists, so these two nomad former gods roam the universe searching for warriors that might actually be able to help destroy this monster if it was ever unleashed. After the Tournament of Power, many universes broadcasted the events of their universe, such as Universe 2 and Universe 9, and having seen Universe 7 win, they travel to Universe 7 and seek out assistance from Goku and friends. When Tapion arrives to explain what's happening, he wishes to keep it all as secret as possible, as they do not want the Gods of Destruction or attendants being informed of their whereabouts. Anybody who finds out might report it back to Zeno, and he would erase them on the spot. If that happens, they're still worried that the monster would be set free. Typically, the main cast are training with Beerus and Whis and are unable to be contacted once again. So this leaves Tapion to talk to the available cast. He asks Kid Trunks if he's affiliated with the Saiyans, and Trunks declares how he's actually one of them. Tapion inquires who of Team Universe 7 would be able to aid them. Now, here's a little bit of a cliche, almost kind of Donnie Darko kind of thing. It goes to like a black screen with a countdown, sort of like a 4 days before Hirudegarn is set free type of thing. So for this we get a rather unusual character mix of Trunks, Goten, 17 and 18, Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Tenshinhan, Roshi and Bulma, all working together to come up with a plan to help Tapion. As it happens in the movie, Trunks takes an interest in Tapion, and thinks he's pretty cool. Whilst all the others think up a new plan, Tapion has fun teaching Trunks how to use a sword, Tapion takes a great interest in the fact that these Saiyans who fight to get stronger and have a bloodthirst can be so playful and peaceful at the same time. Bulma thinks she's sorted a plan and tries to seal Tapion in a room that she's built that uses similar technology to the Room of Spirit and Time, to try and separate Tapion from the dimension so that when the God of Destruction does pass away, it doesn't take Tapion with him so long as he stays in that room. Now we get down to the one day before Hirudegarn is set free panel, and we witness Trunks and Tapion doing more sword training inside Tapion's little void structure. Suddenly, Tapion breaks down on the inside of the void in amounts of pain. It appears the God of Destruction has passed away. The void has served its purpose, and Tapion is still alive, but he's been made incredibly weak and is terrified that this void won't help him for much longer. He asks Trunks to attempt to kill him. Whilst he's afraid of the monster will be set free if he dies, there's a small chance if he does die that he won't set it free and that it will just die with him. Or at least if Tapion dies inside the void and the monster is set free, they can lock the monster in the void and run away. Trunks refuses just as he does in movie 13. Anyway, we get to the day of Hirudegarn being released. The monster expels out of Tapion inside the void. Trunks heads off to inform the others and they all spring into action and come to the void. Tapion struggles to fight alongside the cast, but strangely, all of their attacks seem to actually be damaging the Hirudegarn, except for Tapion's. Hirudegarn bursts outside the void structure, but Tapion must remain inside of it, else the void will no longer take effect and he might die. But seeing their attacks damage Hirudegarn, Tapion starts to think they might actually be able to win. He can't believe his eyes, but after the length of time that has passed, the power of these mortals has evolved beyond his expectations. Gohan and 17 work together to do an all-out assault on Hirudegarn and absolutely batter the bastard. Tapion extends his amazement to the guys that their godly powers be so high that they can actually deal damage beyond the God of Destruction that he was affiliated with, to which they reply that they don't actually possess divine energy, to when it clicks. Tapion realizes this foe couldn't be defeated by divine ki, and so his own and his God of Destruction's attacks were not affecting Hirudegarn at all. Hirudegarn releases an all-out attack on the warriors, and Goten, Gohan, and Master Roshi release a huge Kamehameha together against Hirudegarn, who avoids it and fires back with a mouth blast against the guys. 17 appears in front of them and uses his energy barrier to cancel the attack out, when suddenly, reminiscent of future Trunks cutting Frieza, Kid Trunks appears over them, wielding Tapion's sword and strikes Hirudegarn right down the center, cutting the monster in two. Then they all gather together and blast the remains of Hirudegarn to wipe him out entirely. The battle is won, without the help of Beerus, Goku, Vegeta, or Whis. Tapion is eternally grateful, and with this being dealt with, Beerus and Whis appear with Goku and Vegeta suddenly. They say that they were watching from above, and Whis and Beerus say that they understand the position Tapion was in, and given the circumstances, they are impressed. Of course, the real reason is that Beerus is just chuffed that Tapion came to their universe for help because he knows how tough his universe is. Goku and Vegeta were impressed with how their sons did, and Beerus agrees to help keep this a secret if Tapion goes to live with the other Kais in the land of the Kais so that he can cook up some old ancient recipes for them to try out. Whis is able to cancel out the destiny bond between the God of Destruction and the Supreme Kai because, of course, an attendant has to be able to disable one to recruit a new destroyer once the previous destroyer passes away. So he breaks Tapion's destiny bond and Tapion heads off with Beerus and Whis to the land of the Kais, but before leaving, asks Trunks to keep his sword. After all, a Kai shouldn't have to use a sword, and consequently wants Trunks to hang on to it. Everything has got resolved at this point. Tapion looks onto the sky and finally feels at peace, and that his universe has been avenged. So that's basically how I think they should introduce a canonical version of Tapion into modern Dragon Ball. I think that would work. Sure, you might want to change parts of the story. You don't even have to bring Hirudegarn back if you don't want to. He was a bit of a nothing villain anyway. But what do you guys think? Leave me a comment down below with your opinion, your ideas, and perhaps any transformations or characters you'd like to see become canonical. And perhaps I'll do a video on it and give you a shout out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to World King Kanji for more concept content in the future. Until next time, guys. Bye!